Welcome to the weekly MMO news from MMORPG.gg. The title for the next Lord of the Rings Online expansion will be titled Fate of Gundabad. No official release has been posted, but it will arrive sometime in the fall of 2021. Lotro also recently opened the test server up for players who wanted to try out the all-new Brawler class, along with the changes to legendary items. Heavy metal band Trivium and the Elder Scrolls Online have teamed up for a 3-week ESOROCKSOUT event and a guitar giveaway that will run throughout September. The ESOROCKSOUT campaign is designed to help promote the release of ESO's latest expansion, Gates of Oblivion. Players can participate in a series of tasks and get prizes like a pet, 1,500 crowns, or various codes for ESO. In other ESO news, the Walking Flame DLC and Update 31 arrived on console this week. The DLC adds 2 dungeons, Red Petal Bastion and Dread Cellar to ESO as part of the Gates of Oblivion storyline. Walking Flame is free for ESO Plus members, while other players can find it in the Crown Store. Update 31 also brings graphical improvements to the console version of ESO, including HDR, and dynamic resolution scaling to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series 10. Aion is celebrating its 12th anniversary by giving away rewards to players. Aion will be giving out at least one gift box or a special gift box each week of the celebrations until October 20th. But Aion is not the only game celebrating an anniversary this week. ArcheAge and ArcheAge Unchained is celebrating its 7th anniversary with anniversary coins, which can be exchanged for special goods at the Exchanger in Mirage Isle. The festivities will last the entire month of September. Neverwinter Jewel of the North will get a Battlepass titled Echoes of Prophecy on October 1st. The first milestone launches on PC and consoles on October 1st, with an evolving campaign across 3 milestones that mark the return of the Cult of the Dragon. The second and third milestones will release on November 1st and December 1st. In the latest dev update on the Albion Online YouTube channel, game director Robin Henkes gives players a preview of what to expect from the new War Glove weapon line and the Headquarter Hideouts feature. War Gloves are a new weapon type including 3 base weapons, 4 artifact weapons, and 15 new abilities crafted in the Warrior's Forge. The new weapons will let players focus on a brawler-style melee combat. Guilds will also be able to make one of their hideouts their headquarters. HQ hideouts will be invulnerable to attacks, as long as the HQ status is maintained. Gordon Walton, co-founder of Artcraft Entertainment, has confirmed the recent layoffs on the Crowfall team in a recent founders update, and attributed them to a switch from launch mode to a live service operation. Val Massey, who was the community manager at Artcraft until last year, and is now the senior community manager at Novacorp, was the first to break the news on Twitter, causing massive speculations on the future of Crowfall. The Final Fantasy XV and Nocturne for Heroes event will return to Final Fantasy XIV next week on September 13th and last until October 18th, giving you well over a month to earn exclusive FF15 event items. The last time the event took place was in 2019, but players who already completed the quests will be able to replay them. Mortal Online 2 is launching next month, and Star Vault completed a stress test in the hardcore full loot sandbox MMORPG this week to prepare for the launch. If you missed it, you will have to wait until October 26 to get your hands on the game. In the August Developer Roundtable for Pantheon, the developers at Visionary Realms talk about production and communication. Topics covered include the Pantheon newsletter and producer's letter, the content schedule moving towards alpha, updates coming to the website, and internet trolls. Pantheon fans were also treated to an almost hour-long update, with new concepts and artwork from the giant-sized Wild's End Zone this week on the Pantheon YouTube channel. We recently got the news that Book of Travels had been delayed due to an unholy trio of bugs, but in their latest video, Might and Delight, gives us some more information on the early access and what to expect from it. According to lead programmer Jens Berglund, the early access version of Book of Travels will include the western part of the map. The western part will include a full ecosystem of areas including small towns, a big town, untouched wilderness, and dangerous areas. The early access will also include chapters, the first chapter lasting until the full release of the game. Each chapter will include unique content that will only be available during the chapter. Fractured has announced that change is coming in the fall alpha. Fractured will be making some changes to attributes, the marketplace, and mailbox that are all scheduled for release in the fall alpha. The new character backgrounds, Bowman and Street Rat, will modify the initial skills that players learn in the game. Attributes will be simplified with the update, and the marketplace has been improved, with new tabs and features. The in-game mail will be used to get notifications about items sold and system messages. Daybreak has added another monetization scheme on top of the all-access membership for EverQuest. Soon players will be able to pay for perks that will come in 3 tiers: the Adventurer's Perk, Challenger's Perk, and Merchant's Perk. One perk will cost $3, two for $4, and all three for $5. Bonuses from these perks range from increased XP and plat gain to making your character immune to level loss, and extra inventory slots. After facing some harsh criticism from the player base, Jagex has now come to an agreement with the creators of the HD RuneLite plugin, which will be available after the weekend, on September 13th. RuneLite HD was set to be released on September 6th, but the creators of the mod, who spent over 2,000 hours over 2 years on the project, were contacted by Jagex and asked to shut it down at the 11th hour according to the creators. The reason behind this seems to be that Jagex is working on its own HD upgrade for OSRS, but Jagex has now agreed to let the fan-made HD mod live until they release their own. Elyon, the new MMORPG developed by Cacao Games, has announced that they will be postponing their launch from September 29th to October 20th. Elyon is switching to a free-to-play model for Elyon in order to compete in an MMO market that is currently seeing an abundance of choice. It doesn't seem like this will mean any changes to the actual cash shop in Elyon, as the developers state that it is not their intent to use this as a justification to add pay-to-win mechanics. Players that have purchased pre-orders will be offered compensation. Stormbreach has announced their first title after starting up last year. Myr'Nora, a fantasy world inspired by the MMORPG classic EverQuest, has been 22 years in the making. Its creator began working on the setting for the game after playing the original EQ in high school. Myr'Nora seeks to bring back more role-playing elements to the MMORPG genre. A peek into the lore, races, and classes of Myr'Nora, along with concept and 3D artwork, can be found on the official Stormbreach website. That was all the MMO news for this week. For more, go to mmorpg.gg and remember to subscribe for more MMORPG related content. See you all next week.